Indian Country, written by Troy Kelly. Fade in. Exterior desert night. The moon shines the lone light on a desolate patch of desert. A woman's footsteps crunch in the rocky sand. The sound of fast, uneven steps pierces the black silence as she fumbles through open desert. Her eyes dart about, searching the terrain. A vehicle engine hums. Eyes widen with recognition at the sound's origin. Desert path. Vehicle headlights illuminate a winding, unpaved road. Further up the path, Brandi Fox, early 20s, Native American, bedraggled in casual clothes, quickens her pace. She trips on uneven terrain and falls to the ground. Vehicle's tires grind to a halt as headlights catch Brandi in their view. Brandi pulls herself up and limps forward. Vehicle driver door opens. Driver exits without speaking. Feet hit the ground. Driver's footsteps crunch as they stalk toward Brandi with sharp, deliberate paces. Back to desert. Brandi faces driver with desperate, fearful eyes.
Please, I'm sorry.
Driver towers over Brandi without response.
You're right, I'll take care of it. Let's just go back to town.
Driver lunges toward Brandi with hands outstretched.
No, please.
Driver's hands grasp Brandi's neck, strangling her. Brandi grabs driver's wrists as she struggles, chokes, and gurgles. Driver brings Brandi's body to the ground, kneeling over her. The two silhouettes stand against the night sky, steps beyond the glare of headlights. Driver kneels over Brandi's body with hands around her neck for a moment after she stops struggling. Driver returns to the car, turns the car around, and leaves. Exterior, Phoenix, Arizona, day, establishing. Phoenix wakes up with contrasting images, distant mountains, desert landscape, and snarls of traffic on freeways. Exterior, Maricopa County Courthouse, day, establishing. Pedestrians and cars chug past the Art Deco building with no care for any trials taking place inside. Interior District Courtroom, day. Mr. Rollins stares with anxious eyes. A bead of sweat rolls down his cheek.
Mr. Rollins?
The bead of sweat rolls further down Rollins' cheek.
Would you like me to repeat the question?
Courtroom. Mr. Rollins, back straight and eyes wide in the witness stand, does not respond. Carter Jensen, early 30s, quick-witted, charming, and dressed in a tailored suit, postures behind a lectern in the courtroom well. The judge observes. Carter's client, early 60s, male, wealthy and slimy, sits at the defense table. Prosecutor, early 40s, male, overworked and underpaid, sits at his side. The jury watches from their box.
You look like you could use some water.
Carter performs this kindness for the jury, patronizing the witness. He leaves lectern, picks up water from pitcher and defense table, fills the water cup on the witness stand.
Mr. Jensen, I'll remind you to request permission before approaching the witness.
Carter's gaze remains fixed on Rollins as he responds.
Yes, Your Honor.
Carter leaves the witness stand and returns to the defense table, water pitcher in hand.
Now, Mr. Rollins, I'll repeat my question.
Carter sets water pitcher on defense table and moves to lectern to face Mr. Rollins. Court reporter stops typing, awaiting Carter's question.
You told the prosecutor that you never received instructions from my client to transfer any funds, correct?
Mr. Rollins hesitates before every answer.
Yes.
You told the prosecutor that you had the impression my client wanted you to transfer the funds in question, correct?
Yes.
So you were never, at any time, ever, told to do anything illegal by my client, were you?
No, but...
It helps the court reporter if you just answer yes or no. For the record, were you ever specifically directed to do anything illegal?
No.
Now, Mr. Rollins, does the impression you mentioned satisfy the elements of the crime my client stands accused of?
Prosecutor rises to object.
Objection, Your Honor, calls for a legal conclusion.
Prosecutor remains standing as Carter responds.
Withdrawn. I was merely curious whether the witness understands the world of difference between his impressions and reality.
Carter flashes a charming smile at the jury. Jury members are impressed with Carter. Some even snicker at his comment.
Your Honor.
Just one question left, Your Honor. Then I'm done with the witness.
Go ahead.
Carter directs laser-focused eyes at Rollins.
You're avoiding jail time in exchange for your testimony here today, aren't you, Mr. Rollins?
The jury watches, rapt, awaiting Rollins' response.
Yes.
Several jury members shift in their seats at the response. Carter's eyes shine and betray his delight at the jury's response. Behind him, client flashes a satisfied smile. Prosecutor frowns and furrows his brow.
Nothing further.
Does the state have a redirect?
Yes, Your Honor.
Interior courthouse hallway, day. Client shakes Carter's hand and pats him on the shoulder. Two other men, similar in age and appearance to client, observe without speaking. All four men smile in a jocular manner.
When Frank told me some young guy was handling my case, I was nervous, but he didn't steer me wrong.
Just make sure you tell Frank I saved your ass in there. About time they named a new junior partner.
The group strides down the hall. Prosecutor exits courtroom. Carter and Prosecutor make eye contact.
I'll catch up with you guys.
Carter approaches Prosecutor as client and two men leave.
Nice work in there.
Thanks.
See you next time, I guess. Good working with you.
Right.
Carter opens his mouth to speak but stops and narrows his eyes as if to ask a question.
Don't bother. You should catch up with your client. Gotta celebrate after stealing millions and getting away with it. No, just don't, okay? I'm not in the mood. I'm sick of assholes like your client being rich enough to make someone else take the fall.
Hey, the government has...
I said don't. You convinced 12 morons who couldn't get out of jury duty that your client was innocent. You won. With the law, not justice. Hopefully one day he gets what's coming. That'd be real justice.
Is that a threat?
Go fuck yourself, Jensen.
Prosecutor stomps away. Carter stares gobsmacked for a moment before he rolls his eyes and shakes his head.